Hello, hello, hello. What's new, Card Crew? Welcome back to another episode of Card Connection, episode number 22, if you all can believe it. But welcome in, everyone. Hope you all are having a wonderful start to your week. It is Monday, July 28th, if you all can believe that already. July 29th, I can't even look at my own calendar properly. July 29th. It is the last week of July. I can't believe we are almost 8 months into the year. But welcome Acorn, welcome Shannon, welcome everyone else watching. Just a few names that I see in chats. But wow, big weekends behind us. Lots of big shows. San Diego Comic-Con and the National Sports Collectors Convention both took place this past weekends. And even though I wasn't there, looking at all of these social media, looking at not only CGC Cards social media, but lots of people all around the internet, even people that I've talked to, it looked exhausting. It looked like a lot of fun, but it looked super exhausting. Anyone in chat get to attend those events? If so, let me know how it went in the comments or in chat. Very, very curious. But this week, we are starting off as per usual with CGC cards around the world. Just a couple of shows to talk about here this week. Fanatics Fest, even though we just finished off those big events with Comic-Con and the National, Fanatics Fest is around the corner, August 16th through the 18th in New York City at the Jacob K. Javits Convention Center. And CGC Cards will be announcing some fun on-site activities. So make sure to stay tuned for more information on that coming quite soon, just not quite yet. I don't have that for you all here today, but that information will be coming soon. Fanatics Fest, August 16th through 18th, 2024. And then in Canada, for those of you watching from Canada, in Toronto, the Fan Expo Canada is taking place August 22nd through the 25th at the Metro Toronto Convention Center in, of course, Toronto, Canada. And CGC will be accepting cards, comics, magazines, and video game take-home submissions through Grosvenor Distribution. So CGC Cards, CGC won't have their own booth at the convention, but if you go to the Grosvenor booth at Fan Expo Canada, you can submit comics, magazines, cards, and video games. And then also at the end of the month for our European family watching, the German Cards and Collectibles Show taking place in Frankfurt, Germany, August 31st through September 1st at the Sueg Energy Arena, again in Frankfurt, Germany. CGC Cards will be on site to accept submissions. So if you'd like to learn more about CGC Cards' presence in that convention in Germany, make sure to go ahead and use the command German in chat to read our official press release about our attendance at the German Cards and Collectibles Show. Alrighty, that's, like I said, all I have. Just a couple shows to talk about for CGC around the world. I like that. You know, we're getting over halfway through the year. We still have a good mix of, three different countries that we're attending, 2 whole different continents just over the next month. So super cool. And then Acorn saying, I saw online some of the amazing stuff they had at the National. Yes, on display. I didn't know ahead of time, but I saw after the fact that a full set of like Power 9 was on display at the booth. I believe they were all artist-proof cards. So super cool items. I was looking at a lot of different just awesome historical pieces at the show. I saw there was like a Babe Ruth game-used uniform. It's one of the auction house's display booths. Super cool. That is why I enjoy going to conventions like that personally, because it's like going to a museum, not only of cards, but also just pop culture and sports collectibles, especially at the National. Comic-Con is more wide-reaching, I'd say, in terms of what you're going to be able to find, but at the National, there's always super, super cool memorabilia. Mostly cards, but some memorabilia as well. Even if it's not for sale, like, I don't think any of us watching would be able to afford, a Jackie Robinson game-used base. I saw a base. I saw the Babe Ruth uniform. Some really cool stuff just to like get close. I would say up and close and personal as you can get. You can really lean into the glass there and see it. Super crazy that stuff like that. Not only has it been identified as authentic and is also just like right there. It's crazy. But super cool stuff at the National. Want to recap some of the big news we discussed last week on episode number 21. So let's move into our news and announcements. Did reveal quite recently that new holders, CGC Cards does have some new holders. So if you use the command holders, you can check out the 2 different articles for the 2 different holder types, I guess. Products, right? So when you submit your cards for grading, I guess holistically that's the product, but 2 different holders announcements, jumbo cards, Collectors can now submit their favorite oversized Pokemon, Marvel, and sports cards, as well as other jumbo cards for authentication, grading, and encapsulation. Those holders are similar to the PMG, which are the paper money guarantees, state-of-the-art holders for banknotes. The jumbo card holder for CGC cards is created with soft plastic and can be used horizontally and vertically, and comes in 2 different sizes for different size jumbo cards. One of the sizes for cards up to size 5x7, and another one for sizes up to 6x9. So those are the 2 different sizes for jumbo holders recently available. I know that you could submit jumbo cards and the vintage holders at the National as well as Comic-Con. No on-site grading at the Comic-Con, but you could submit there as well, of course. Then for sports cards, CGC Cards introduced new holders for vintage sports cards. However, it's been brought to my attention that if you have a card that would fit nicely in one of these holders, for example, Pokemon poker cards, whatever size holder fits best will be used. So it's not only for vintage sports cards, although that was the intention. However, cards that will fit in that size, that will fit into a standard holder with the new inserts. The new little holder pieces, not like a plastic insert, but the holder pieces inside of the slab, they will be used for that. So these new holders are tailored to the unique sizes of many cards that previously required a plastic sleeve insert to be safely encapsulated. Now these cards are protected and secure in the CGC Cards state-of-the-art holder, with nothing obscuring the clarity of the encapsulated cards. So nothing will be between the card and the surface of the holder on the inside. So for many card sizes that are encountered less frequently, CGC Cards previously used sleeves that were encapsulated within the holder to secure the cards in place. So the new holder is designed to better fit the non-standard size cards while seamlessly stacking with standard CGC Cards holders, which is one thing. The reason that I asked about the Pokemon poker cards is because I personally own several different CGC graded poker cards, and it's a very slight difference in the thickness. However, those were a different thickness and they didn't fit in regular size team bags. So for my collection of slabs, I have like a little pile that doesn't fit. I like having them team bagged so that way the cases don't scratch against one another, because that'll happen sometimes just from friction and things like that. So I may also be resubmitting my poker cards for the new holder. We'll see. We'll see. I like doing it in person. So it really depends if I find myself at an event that CGC Cards is attending, which we do have a lot. If you ever check out the events page, that is where you can see our list of shows, or of course, tune in weekly for me to give you guys updates on those attendances. But submitters also do not need to do anything different. So if you're wondering if there's any kind of box you need to check, you don't have to figure out what size holder your cards need to go into. You just submit them, and the CGC Cards team will select the appropriate holder once it gets to the encapsulation stage for your cards. So we discussed this last week, as well as, of course, the jumbo holders. But if you'd like to learn more about these new holders, like I said, use the command holders to access both of the official press releases for these new holders. Something we also touched upon last week, but very, very big news, is the full rollout of the CGC Cards Signature Series. So on July 19th, Certified Collectibles Group announced that its industry-leading CGC Signature Series Witnessed Autograph Certification Service is now available for CGC Cards as well. So this full launch of CGC Signature Series for cards, this was previously offered for trading card collectors in extremely limited capacities. For example, some of the send-in signings, like there was the signing recently for Joe Jusko, which submissions are closed for that. The cutoff date for receiving any submissions for that was sometime last week, but it used to be some special events where maybe you could send stuff in, but not really at any conventions. But now, if you'd like to learn more about these Signature Series signings and where you will be able to get CGC Signature Series signing opportunities, use the command Signature Series. So, I know there were a few actually Signature Series opportunities this past week at the National, which I do have a highlight video to show you at the end during our community spotlight, actually. With Gary V, so use some samples for that. But if you'd like to learn about future opportunities and such, make sure to stay in touch by following the links provided in the Signature Series command. There's for more information on that. All right, actual new news. You guys are like, yeah, Allie, you chit-chatted about this last week. What the heck are double holos? The title of the stream is Double Holos Identified. What does that even mean? Well, CGC Cards announced on July 24th that it will now recognize all Pokemon Neo Revelation double holo variants on the CGC Cards label. So CGC Cards is the first third-party grading service to recognize all 16 of these holo foil variants. And I do have some examples to show you all of what the double holo looks like, as well as the label. So here I have the super cool Neo Rev Ho-Oh 9.5 Mint Plus. If you click on the link for Neo, you can see side-by-side comparisons between a regular holo foil and one of the Neo Rev double holo foils, for which in Neo Revelation, you had both. That's why the double holo is a very rare variant, and that's why we wanted to identify it on the label so that you know exactly what you are looking at. That's what the card identification's for, and for you to know that it's a double holo that is now present on the CGC Cards label. So, after the initial release of Neo Revelation 2001, Wizards of the Coast modified the white opaque layers in the printing files of the cards themselves. So the white opaque layer is the first layer put on top of the holo foil in order to block the foil from bleeding through. If you ever heard of foil bleed, that's when the holo foil gets printed on areas that it's not originally supposed to. Sometimes it can look really cool, but it bleeds out into areas that are not normally shiny. But this change to the opaque layers resulted in differences between the appearances of each card. So the reason for that change, we may never know. Wizards of the Coast never stated why they changed the holo foil border on these cards in Neo Revelation. But it is clear that these double holo foils are much rarer than regular holo foils, and as such, they often bring large premiums in the marketplace. One thing I do want to mention as well that I thought was very awesome that CGC Cards has done, and very important for you all to know, is that in order to maintain the integrity of the CGC Cards population reports, CGC Cards' grading team has gone through all the verification images of cards that have been previously certified Neo Revelation Holos, and updated each card certification reflecting the proper variants in the pop report. So if you currently own a CGC graded Neo Revelation holo foil and you're not sure which version it is, or you've always suspected it to be a double holo and you don't have any confirmation on the label, if you can resubmit it for reholdering, reholdering costs $5. You will have that on the label that gets reprinted. But if you check the pop report, it will also tell you. Now, there are the two different versions of the card, so each card has been meticulously gone through the images and put into the proper category for what type of Neo Rev holo it is, which I think is absolutely wonderful. So anyone that already owns one of these cards, has one in your collection, or has seen one before, or if you're out in the wild, maybe you're at a card show, maybe at a card shop, maybe trading with a friend and they have one encapsulated and it doesn't say, you can scan the QR code on the back of your slab, check out the official posting within the pop report, and see what variation your card is. But yes, if you'd like to learn more about double holos, check out those really cool pictures. I did not know about double holo foils, so I thought it was very informative and also very clear to be able to identify, and also a great quick reference to be able to identify double holo foils. Check out the article written by our very own Christopher Hanley to learn more about these, as well as how you can resubmit any of your cards for reholdering by using the command Neo in chat. So very cool. I learned a bit about Pokemon this week. I thought that was very interesting. And some cards, like the Ho-Oh here, as well as another one that I have the full mock-up of. Where is it? Boop. There we go. The Mischievous. Those are very easy to see, but not all of them are easy to identify. So I think it's very great that we have those side-by-side picture references between a regular and a double holo foil in that article. So I do recommend you all go ahead and check that on out. Very cool, very cool. And yes, these holo foils, these old ones, I love how they look. I didn't even know these existed. Super cool. Very informative. Love it. But already, let me go ahead and check out. That's it for our CGC news this week. Got a lot of sports news. A lot of sports news. It's been really my obsession with the Olympics over the past couple days that I have a good amount of Olympic updates for you all, but we'll also talk about the baseball trade deadline. So let's actually get on into that first. Some baseball news for all of you. The baseball trade deadline is approaching. As the time we're recording, it is less than 24 hours away. So tomorrow, that is July 30th at 6 p.m. Eastern. Exact. That is the deadline for the MLB trade deadline, and some recent notable acquisitions for trades right before the deadline, of course, because we haven't reached it yet. So something crazy could still go down within the next, 20 hours or so. But recent notable acquisitions and trades during the trade deadline, before the trade deadline, include Cubs obtaining Isaac Paredes from the Rays on July 28th. The Yankees obtaining Jazz Chisholm Jr. from the Marlins on the 27th. And then back on the 26th, the Mariners obtained Randy Arozarena from the Rays. The Rays have been making a lot of moves. As a person that grew up in Tampa Bay, our local farm team is gutting the team again, and I'm confused. But hopefully it'll all come to fruition, whatever the Rays' master plan is. Because right now, I'm confused. I don't know what they're doing. But we've lost a lot, but we've also gained some people in trades. We'll see who ends up making a name for themselves on the Rays next. But we will see. We will see. Yes, I'm curious to see if anything absolutely crazy. And yes, as usual, the chat's joke about the Rays' next big move that they'll be making to Montreal. This is a joke for legal reasons, but the endless rumor about the Montreal Rays. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think so. I really don't think the Rays are going to leave, but I also didn't think the Arizona Coyotes would collapse and move to Utah. So we'll see. Only time will tell. But anyways, on to some Olympics recap. I wanted to show you guys some cards. Instead, I'll just show you guys some products. Olympic recap. I've been obsessed with watching the Olympics, actually, now that I figured out that I can actually watch the Olympics at home through my parents' Peacock account. Sick. After I worked on Saturday, I worked a 10-hour shift, and then I went home after I got some McDonald's breakfast at 4 o'clock in the morning and watched gymnastics, all 5 prelims for gymnastics, and then went and watched Deadpool. I was up for like 36 hours. I think I fell asleep during one of the general matches before the on the general stream between the 4th and 5th preliminaries for gymnastics, because I woke up. You know when you're not really asleep, but you're like, oh, I'm awake now, but you don't think you're asleep, to a swimming whistle, because it's really a really shrill noise. I was like, oh, I'm awake. So maybe I slept 10 minutes and wasn't up all the time. But super fun to watch the Olympics. Super fun to see all these athletes that I've been encountering, opening up a decent amount of the Olympics Topps Chrome product over the past week. But for rugby, got to catch some of the women's rugby matches today. Spoiler alert, by the way. Spoiler alert for all these results. Women's USA rugby team defeated the UK in an elimination match to advance to the semifinals. Originally down a 7-0 deficit, the women's team finished 17-7 after the second half, and they will be facing New Zealand on the 30th for their semifinal appearance. For gymnastics today, the men's all-around finals were today. Yes, as Acorn mentions, the USA men's won bronze today. That was a match that I didn't get to watch, and when I went to watch, I was like, oh, the replay's loading, I'll watch that, but I'll dodge spoilers. I click on the general feed, and I saw it on the scroll bar on the bottom, the update, so I'm like, oh, well. But I'm more passionate about women's gymnastics, although men's gymnastics really fun to watch. I like seeing the pommel horse. I can't imagine having that kind of upper body strength. The pommel horse in the rings, if you guys watching haven't watched men's gymnastics, it's insane. It's actually insane. Like, sometimes I'll sit and I'll be like, I wonder if I could do it. I'm like, I can't even lift myself up like this, let alone swinging around and everything. It's absolutely awesome feats of nature and hard work and everything, but it's crazy to watch. But anyways, yes, USA men's gymnastics team took bronze today in the all-around finals. And women, well, the women's team will compete tomorrow morning. I believe it's around noon Eastern is when that starts. We'll be having their all-around finals tomorrow, Tuesday, on July 30th. So, lots of the women's team also will be competing in the individual event finals, which I believe should be taking place on Thursday. That's something I need to double-check. But very excited to see what goes down. I'm very passionate about Olympic gymnastics, which a lot of people did not know. Well, I'm obsessed with Olympics gymnastics, so it was very exciting to watch yesterday. And if you all can tune in, women's all-around finals takes place tomorrow morning. For some beach volleyball updates, the women's team defeated the Australian team. Women's USA beach volleyball, Cloth and Nuss defeated Australian former silver medalist team, and they will be facing China this Thursday as well. And then for basketball, it was actually a very fun game to watch. I got to see some highlights, didn't catch the whole thing live, watched the replay later on. The men's team defeated Serbia yesterday, and the women's team today beat Japan. Women's basketball, I didn't know this, but the women's basketball team has won gold in every Olympic Games since 1996 for women's basketball. They defeated Japan today, I believe 107-87 or somewhere around there. But I will say, I was very, very impressed. There was one shooter on the Japanese team that just hit threes like nobody's business. It was actually a stressful game for a good period of time, because while the USA team was hitting a lot of ones, the Japanese team was hitting a lot of threes. So they were actually catching up very quickly during several stretches of the game. It was very cool to watch. And I'm not normally into basketball, but the Olympics have me into sports that are things I wouldn't normally watch. Like I watched some of the mountain biking as well. That was cool. I think I just enjoy watching people doing their best, and it's the best of people, best of the best around the world. It's cool. The Olympic Games are cool. Looking forward to seeing. Hopefully I want to go to the games and see the gymnastics in LA in 2028. That'd be super cool. Maybe we'll have on the ground Card Connection coverage. Who knows? Long time away. Highly doubt it, but who knows? You never know where life may take you. But with that finishes up our news and announcements for the week. Let's go ahead and recap on some new releases. Boom, boom, boom. Talking new releases. Last week, several big releases for both Topps and Panini. Upper Deck 2 sneaking in there with some Hockey and Marvel. Makes sense around the National having some big releases. Another big release week coming up actually is the same week that Fanatics Fest is taking place. So a couple weeks away, a lot of big products will be hitting new hobby shop shelves. But for now, this past week, we did have on Wednesday, the 24th, 2023-24, Topps UEFA Club Competitions Chrome Soccer, Upper Deck Allure Hockey for the 23-24 season as well, and 2023 Upper Deck Marvel Beginnings Volume 2 Series 2, a sequel to a set releasing early in the year last year, and a general sequel to the Marvel Beginnings line launched many years ago. So that's why it's Volume 2, Series 2. It's part 2 of the new iteration of Marvel Beginnings. And then on Friday, the 26th, 23-24 Panini Prism Copa America Soccer did release. Unfortunately, releasing a little bit late, seeing as the Copa already has concluded. But UEFA, the UEFA products, that's club competitions, did come out a little bit more on time. Copa coming at the end, really, of that event. And then the highlight product from last week for me, Topps Chrome US Olympic and Paralympic Hopefuls, which did have both a blaster release, also known as a value box. These have exclusive pink refractors, and then hobby boxes, which have exploded in price. 2 autos and 1 relic on average per box. I've seen boxes with up to 3 autos and up to 2 relics as well. So very fun product. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely getting more and more expensive by the day as more people, honestly, in my opinion, learn how freaking cool this set is. But I digress. Upcoming this week, we get the full hobby release of 2023 Panini Donruss Optic Football. That'll be coming in on the 31st on Wednesday. As I say, full hobby release as retail megas and blaster boxes came out, I believe, over a month ago, but hobby boxes are releasing on Wednesday, the 31st. Also seeing 23-24 Panini Impeccable Soccer releasing, and 2024 Topps Museum Collection Baseball. Something big on Friday is the newest Pokemon specialty set, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Shrouded Fable. It is a specialty set, so no booster boxes. You only have the specialty products like Elite Trainer boxes, collections, mini tins, blister packs, hanger packs, and so on and so forth. However, While the mini tins, blister packs, and 3 different special collections are releasing on the 2nd, the Elite Trainer boxes are delayed until mid-August. Coming in should be right now at August 23rd is when you should start seeing Shrouded Fable Elite Trainer boxes at your local shops and in retail stores. And just like how we saw with 151, just like how we see with other typical Pokemon holiday sets, staggered releases on the different products. So if you happen to miss out on finding mini tins in a couple weeks, there'll be different Shrouded Fable products hitting store shelves for you to pursue. And like I said, Elite Trainer boxes not officially releasing until August 23rd, although of course you can find people opening it on the internet already. I don't know how they get it. Well, not world's biggest mystery, but for me, it's a great mystery as to how people get stuff early. But with that, that is the update for new releases, last week recap, and looking forward here into this week. And it's already going to be August. End of this week's already going to be August. It's crazy to see, oh, this Friday, August 2nd, Pokemon Shrouded Fable releases. What? Craziness, craziness, craziness. But with all the craziness, I wanted to go ahead and kind of switch up what our community spotlight's like this week. There was a lot going on up that's going to play. I'm going to hide that while it plays because you guys are going to look at that afterwards. I'm going to put the volume on and everything. But I wanted to show off some of the awesome things that we encountered at the National. If you are still posting your pictures from San Diego Comic-Con and the National, make sure you go ahead and tag us. I love seeing all of the smiling faces on social media. And I took a few pictures from posts from our official accounts to go ahead and show you some of the happenings that we had at the booth. We had special guest Brian Urlacher on one of the days for a little meet and greet at the CGC Cards booth. We had, as you all can see in the top left picture, that is a base set, first edition Shadowless Charizard, getting a pristine 10. Then right up above me, you may recognize Adam from a few other really, really awesome grade reveals and high-end Magic collaboration openings on our CGC Cards YouTube channel. That is an Alpha Black Lotus in a pristine 10. And then right behind me, someone we've actually featured on the Community Spotlight before, Pancake Analytics. This is his CGC 6 Wolverine Hugh Jackman from X-Men Origins. Or no, that's actually one of the... No, that is the Origins Wolverine auto there. Yes. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And I wanted to go ahead and show you all this video made by the social media team as a highlight of the National. So let me get that set up. It is replaying here. Can I get this video to hold on, let me... Okay. Oop. I'm gonna refresh the page. How do I refresh for it to start again? Interact. Hold on.
From massive grade reveals and big prizes.
Let me know if I need to adjust the volume, chat.
I want to thank everyone for making this National the best one ever yet for CGC.
This is the first time I've ever done something like this, so they've been extremely helpful in getting this this card registered so I can get it authenticated and graded.
I've seen the Signature Series, the Auto, the JSA, and CGC combo. It was remarkable.
It's a Black Label 10.
Thank you for trusting CGC with your collections. It's been an honor serving you. Remember to tag all of your CGC graded cards at CGC Cards on social. And to submit at our headquarters, go to cgccards.com.
Alrighty, and that's where the video ends, but I really like that. Really showed some of the fun highlights. We also had Gary V come by on one of the days. We had a meet and greet with Gary V, and as you saw, signing cards completely free and getting, of course, the signature series if you submitted any of your signed Gary V cards. But super awesome, and I really liked how Andy phrased it, and I would like to reiterate as well, for those of you that do choose to grade with CGC cards, and those of you that hang out, watch the show, and follow CGC cards on social media, all that jazz. Thank you for trusting CGC with your collection. We appreciate it and hope to keep everything safe and preserved for you, whether you're just someone that likes to hoard cards like me, or someone that does like to trade a lot, sell a lot, things come in and things come out. Whatever is the way that you collect, thank you for trusting CGC and CGC cards with your collection. But yeah, the National looked great. I am really hoping to go. I'm as soon as the hotel block drops, I'm gonna book, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, so I have to budget this much every month for the next what? When the hotel block usually drops, it's about 9 months away, and figure it out. I'll force myself to figure it out for next year because all the FOMO from this event was super crazy. It looked like a lot of fun. Now, of course, you see some more stuff behind the scenes, like the long lines and the parking lot and all those kinds of disasters, but looked like an absolutely awesome event, and I definitely would like to. I'm gonna kick my own butt in a gear and get myself there next year because I really did miss out this year. But thank you everyone that swung by and made the National so great for us. Really appreciate it. I can't speak on San Diego Comic-Con. I've seen a lot of posts on social media there as well, but have not been in touch with anyone that was working that event. But for those of that I've been able to talk with that did work the National, thank you so much for making it an absolutely great event. We really appreciate it, and although it was extremely exhausting, a ton of fun as well. But with that, I think that is a great way to end off today's episode. Next week, there may or may not be an episode of Card Connection, just because I was planning to travel to visit my family. However, there may be a hurricane, so I may not be traveling next weekend. So we'll see. Episode 28.3 may or may not be the first week of August. I'll try to keep you all posted as much as I can. I would operate under the assumption at this point that there will be no episode next week, and then we will return on August 12th. But I'll keep you all posted. But with that does it here for me. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining here. And as always, well, I suppose I normally put this up real quick. I'll put up this screen. As always, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or cards to share, you can reach out at cardconnection@cgccards.com or message us, of course, on social media, or even me, myself, on Instagram at AllieLaudel. Especially if you have questions regarding the community spotlight, that is where I can help out the most. But yeah, anything, if you don't have social media or you just prefer to contact via email, cardconnection@cgccards.com. But that wraps things off for me here this week. Thank you everyone for watching. Take care, keep having fun collecting, and I'll catch you all in the next episode of Card Connection. Bye-bye!